تلقي كلمة المنظمة السيدة ماريا هيلين، مديرة قسم الانشطة العمالية بالمنظمة الكتراف، وممثلة المدير العام السيد جاي رايدر مدير العام للمنظمة. فلتتفضل.
Dear General Secretary Said Salman, dear friends, delegates to the GBFTU's third General Congress, I am bringing you the warmest greetings of the International Labour Organization and its director, General Guy Rider. We issue all the best and a great success for your important work. We have just seen that a Congress is a very significant moment in the life of an organization. And the emotional speech that Brother Salman has given us is a proof of that. Because he was evaluating his action in the past, but he was also setting the agenda for the future. And you look at the ILO as a privileged partner in your work with workers in this country and in setting the agenda of workers' rights, freedom, and democracy. Your meeting today as a Trade Union General Center is a clear proof of the commitment and the determination you have in playing fully the role in promoting decent work in the global trade union movement. The ILO welcomes this and congratulates you on this initiative of holding your Congress on a timely basis within a transparent and democratic process. At the moment when the eyes of the world are focused on the tensions and conflicts reflecting your region, it is timely to recall the basic founding propositions of the ILO that lasting peace depends on social justice. The GBFTU as an independent and democratic trade union organization, and we in the ILO must join hands to advance these common values. The tripartite structure of the ILO gives trade unions their seat at the international multilateral table. Our mandate to secure lasting peace through social justice has never been more contemporary, and it echoes the historic mission of trade unionism. The ILO is the custodian of the international labor standards which define rights at work, and we are responsible for their application. Guy Rider, our Director General and a former trade unionist, as you know, is leading a deep process of change, of reform in the ILO, which is designed to make the organization more effective, more relevant, more useful, and closer to the realities of the world of work in the member states, and at the same time, also very important, a more efficient organization. While the ILO must continue to hold its 186 member states to their international obligations to apply the conventions that they have ratified, we also need to turn our attention to the management of increasingly complex challenges in the world of work. As the ILO moves towards its centenary 3 years from now, it needs to be prepared to take on these new challenges and some old ones as well, as it is the case of eliminating child labor for the still 168 million strong army of child laborers, or liberating the 21 million victims of forced labor, or more recently to address the drama of refugees and displaced persons. The tragedy we have testimonied in Bangladesh a few years ago tells us a lot about how global supply chains can operate to produce enormous profits at one end, but lethal working conditions at the other end. These need to be chains of decent work and the ILO needs to be engaging with the companies involved and their workers to make that happen. We also need to take a new look at how we move to struggle for gender equality forward to a successful conclusion. After decades of valuable work and the introduction of anti-discrimination legislation in most countries, women still confront major labor market discrimination, segregation, and unequal pay. We have to build on what we have already achieved and what we have already done, but simply doing more of the same will not be enough. And this is a very important message for your decisions in this Congress. It is necessary to innovate. It is necessary to redefine how work interacts with the rest of our life arrangements, how work-life balance can become a reality to all workers in their road to sharing more and better family and social responsibilities. The ILO intends to take up this challenge even further. And with the world of work changing with unprecedented speed in ways which too often are to the detriment of working women and working men, we need to deepen our understanding and our capacity to deal with the forces that will continue to transform the global landscape of labor, the future of work. Demography, technology, increasing global production systems integration, the rise in inequalities, the role of tripartism, social dialogue, and collective bargaining, just to mention a few. That is a precondition for putting them at the service of social justice and decent work. I would like to recall, in order to conclude, the ILO's commitment to the work in the Arab region. With the support from its Arab constituents, a lot has been achieved already. Together, we are doing more to understand, analyze, and address the challenges that you face in circumstances which are very often far from easy. We've just heard a report about that. Developments in almost most regions of the world, but particularly in your region, call for fundamental change to achieve equality and dignity at work, which has to be translated into decent jobs for women and for men, which have to imply full respect of the rights of work, which means adequate levels of social protection provided to all, and the effective use of dialogue to address problems and conflicts as they arise. And this takes me back to the two tripartite agreements signed by the constituents of this country in 2012 and 2014 regarding the issue of the dismissed workers. The ILO hopes that these agreements were respected and the dismissed workers back to work. According to the 2014 agreement, and I quote, all signing parties expressed their interests in strengthening the mutual trust and cooperation based on international labor standards and on the respect of the interests of each party towards supporting production relations and pushing forward social dialogue. It is in the interests of the three signatories to take all possible measures to reinstate the remaining dismissed workers to their jobs, according to what is clarified in this agreement, and remove all obstacles. I can only encourage, from an ILO perspective, the tripartite constituents in this country to pursue this road. Dear friends, the Arab region is faced with social and economic challenges that impact on both the current and the future generations. Unemployment in the region, particularly among young people, remains the highest in the world, with 23% in average. Arab women face particular challenges in the labor market. The gender unemployment gap is getting larger and not smaller. Labor migration, an important and distinctive feature of your region, calls for interventions to ensure the protection of the fundamental rights of all migrant workers. And with this same vision, the ILO has been and will continue to respond to the needs of Arab workers in the occupied Arab territories to meet the labor and humanitarian needs of the Palestinian people. Finally, I want to salute the courage you show to defend and promote the values for which the ILO stand. And by doing this, I would like to express gratitude to the incredible work done by the trade union leaders that will step down. Thank you very much, Brother Saeed Salman, for all your engagement and the work that you have done, not just for your organization, but for the Bahraini workers in general. But I also would like to salute the best of luck to the newcomers, to the new generation of leaders that will start from this Congress onwards. And I wish your Congress all success. And I would like to finish like I started. You can continue counting on the support of the ILO in the future. Thank you very much.